Hi, good evening. Welcome to another Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Thank you. Tonight we have Terry Nieves with us, the owner of Ocean Harvest Sea Vegetable Company, and she's going to be doing a talk and a demonstration on sea vegetables, the raw green superfoods from the ocean. And I'm really excited about that because even as a long-term, decade-long raw foodist, I love sea vegetables, but I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I have like 3 things I do over and over and over. So it's hard to find a good book, and sometimes I just don't feel brave enough to experiment with them. So I'm very excited to see some of what Terry has to offer. The beautiful Terry Nieves is a raw, wild Mendocino seaweed mermaid. Terry has been a wild ocean food provider for over 13 years. As the owner of Ocean Harvest Sea Vegetable Company, she offers a wealth of knowledge about seaweeds and their nutritional value. Terry also works as an educator, directing a county-wide nutrition education and gardening program for students in Mendocino County schools. Here she is with her talk and demo, Sea Vegetables, Raw Green Superfoods from the Ocean, Terry Nieves.
Thank you. So, thank you for everything. Thanks, Shea. This is a little while in coming. I told Shea that I'd love to come and do this after the harvest. So I just finished harvesting last week. I'd like to thank Cafe Gratitude and all of the people that are here working. Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank you all for coming. I can tell that you are all ready to be seaweed pushers. Because that's what it takes to get people to eat seaweed. You really have to just get the texture right so that it tastes good, and so that you're able to chew it, or else have it go down some way so that it's not slimy. So I work really hard at doing that. And just another brief intro. I'm also an herbalist, so this kind of fit right into my life as I was learning about herbs, and I thought, wow, herbs in the ocean. It's definitely medicine, definitely food is your medicine. I've been an educator for 26 years. I've gone from teaching in the classroom to directing a program in Mendocino County schools. We have a garden in every school. We have funding to supply people to work in those gardens, and we teach nutrition education throughout the county. And that's all thanks to your lovely federal tax dollars at work. So thank you. That's a federally funded program that I don't get to go out in the gardens or anything, but I get to oversee it, make sure we continue the funding, the reporting, all of that fun stuff. But it's definitely worth it to see kids get excited about peas or carrots, something that we're having for Harvest of the Month. And we've actually had seaweed for our Harvest of the Month before. So that was an interesting one. The federal government did not like that. I'm a mother to a son and a daughter, and I'm a grandmother. I have 3 grandsons. One's 10, 8, and 2. I get to see them all next month. I'm so excited. I've been raw for about 2 years. During that time, I probably transitioned for about a year, and I'm doing pretty good now. I do a green smoothie every morning. That's where I get all my greens. If I miss my green smoothie, I crave greens. I could go get just a bag of salad and eat the whole bag because I didn't have my green smoothie. For lunch, I usually have a salad, and for dinner, I'm creative. Now I just have vegetables, and maybe I'll make a hummus or something like that. Or maybe I just won't even eat, or maybe I'll just have a dessert, a raw dessert. And I'm so glad that there are so many opportunities to purchase raw foods here. And I know where I live in Mendocino County, we have Living Light, and we also have the Co-op, which has some stuff that you can buy. And even the Organic Brew Pub in Ukiah has raw food if you're ever up that way.
Wow, that's awesome.
So just some general historical information about seaweed. How many of you are familiar with seaweeds? Oh, good. So you came to learn more then. I hope that I can give you some more information. And I will give you a handout at the end and a seaweed list of what I have to offer and prices and stuff like that, so you can order at any time. And if you order and you call me or you email me and say that you heard me talk, I'll send it for free shipping, because it doesn't cost much to send it down south here. There are 4 seaweed companies in Mendocino, and I bought my company from somebody who was actually harvesting. So this company is 30 years old. Ocean Harvest is about 31 years old. And Victor Marin, he was the founder of the seaweed company, and he started harvesting seaweed, and people are like, nobody's ever going to buy that. And he said, oh yeah, they will. And it was sea palm. Not even the tribes were eating sea palm. They're like, no, that's not really what we eat nori. So today I hope to be able to tell you how to use some wild raw seaweeds in many ways, from eating them to bathing with them. I hope that you'll learn some facts about the health benefits of seaweed and learn why eating locally harvested seaweed is really important, not only for your health, but also for the health of the planet. And at the end, I'm going to have Erica, thank you Erica for helping me, fix some little samples for you to taste that have some different types of seaweed in them. And Erica's also one of my seaweed harvesters. She's very, very good helper this year. Thank you. So seaweeds are literally our blood, sweat, and tears. They are the foundation of where we came from, the ocean, if you believe that theory of where we came from. And that's why we have exactly the same makeup in our lymph, in our blood, and in our I guess tears aren't lymph, in our sweat. It's the same minerals that you would be consuming if you ate seaweed, and almost in the same quantities. And people always ask me, well, it tastes so salty. But the salty taste is not all sodium. It's actually the perfect mixture for you of potassium, sodium, and magnesium, which are all kind of salty flavored minerals. So ever since the distant time that our ancestors left the ocean and began to live on land, our bodies have had to work really hard to find those same minerals and ingest and absorb them and excrete them to maintain the internal ocean that we call our blood plasma and interstitial fluid that bathes and feeds our cells. And eating seaweeds is probably the best way for us to be sure that we're ingesting enough of all the minerals we need for optimum health, and it doesn't take very much. In fact, I'll show you. This little ground seaweed that I have here is a teaspoon. You could probably have about 2 of these a day, and that's all the seaweed that you would need. Now, it looks a little smaller there than a great big piece that you would chow down on, and that's just because it's ground up. So it's about, maybe a quarter of an ounce would be a daily dose of seaweed. And because of the condition of our soils, we're not able to get the minerals that we used to be able to get through our living food that's on land. So there are a lot of minerals that are missing that are supplied through the seaweeds. I have some pictures too that I'm going to pass around. I have 3 sets. I'm actually getting ready for a class at Living Light. I'm going to be taking people out into the ocean. Sorry. And we're going to do a treasure hunt and find some seaweeds out there. So I'm going to share these pictures with you so that you can see what the different seaweeds look like as I talk about them. And I have 3 sets, so I'll just pass them around, and when you're finished looking at them, you can pass them on to the next person. And they're all labeled. They all have the common name and then the Latin name. And the Latin names change. I didn't know that until this year. One of the Latin names changed for the wakame, I believe. There's also a picture I'm going to hand around to you so you can see where the different seaweeds grow. And these rocks are only exposed at the low tide. And I'll talk more about that later when we harvest and why it's important that we harvest at the times that we do. But these are pretty much all of the seaweeds that I harvest off of the Mendocino coast and where you would find them on the rocks. And the rocks are never that smooth. It's like rock climbing. So one of the first seaweeds that I want to talk about is sea palm because it's so unique to our coast. It only grows from about Big Sur up to Washington in the whole world. And it's the only seaweed that you have to have a license to harvest. You can actually go out into the ocean and harvest up to 10 pounds of wet seaweed every day that you could get out there, and then dry it, because you want to make sure you can dry it on the days that you harvest it, otherwise it's compost. But you can not harvest sea palm unless you have a license, and they're about $128 this year, and that's a commercial seaweed harvesting license.